going to be applying a splint, and before doing so, of course, if this were an instant where he had a wound or a broken leg, we'd want to have him sedated and some pain medication on board. You want to make sure that the splint's going to cover properly. So you want to go ahead and place that on there, making sure that the end piece here meets the toes and this fits comfortably. We're going to do a modified Robert Jones before, so as usual we're going to go ahead and place some stirrups on the leg that's going to hold in place. Okay. Next we're going to start with our cast padding. And with splints we like to pad it a little extra because we don't want this part rubbing. So we've gone ahead and put some elasticon around the edges so it's nice and smooth, and we'll make sure to put extra padding so when they're walking you don't have any kind of friction. Again, we're going to take the roll in our hands like this and start at the bottom. And you want to get nice and thick. Oh, look at the door. So we're just going to go up the leg, and Robin's going to stabilize to make sure that we get a nice fit. Because this splint's going up high, we're going to have to stretch the leg out a little bit straighter to go above the patella. There we go. You're a good boy. We're going to pause to make sure that we have it up far enough, and we do. So now we'll start going back down the leg, making sure that this has got nice tension on it. We want this to stay nice and smooth, and we'll actually do 2 layers of the cast padding to ensure stability. Okay, oops. Let's see here. So we'll start right back where we left off. So we're just going to continue and making sure that we're not going to do too much, but we want to make sure that it's going to be enough to keep the patient comfortable. Okay, so now that we've got that on, we're going to do 1 layer of brown gauze, and then we'll apply the splint and put the brown gauze on top of it. Again, we want to leave a little bit of the cast padding sticking out at the end. So we roll. We'll go over the patella. So we have a nice enough line right there. And then we'll come back. And as we come down the leg, we've got it nice and straight, so we're going to make sure that it's placed on here properly. So we're going to start this. So once we're done, we have our tape. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to twist up, and this is really what's going to help hold this on. So we have it nice and snug, and then we've got our vet wrap. go ahead and get all that open so when we're placing it, we don't have to struggle to apply. We'll start again at the base covering. And we're just going to roll. Over the top. And if you have a gap, we can put gauze or extra padding, but we've got a nice snug fit, so we don't have to worry about that. And we'll just come down. And cut. With splints, you definitely want to make sure that you have a piece of tape and you're going to date it or a marker, that way that you know when it's been checked and applied. So we'll write the date. So now we have a nice splint. It's on here. The toes are able to be seen. We have a good fit. He's definitely going to be stable. So since we've put that on, we're going to go ahead and do the removal. And again with the removal, we're going to take the first layer off, and since the gauze and we have the splint to kind of protect, we'll go ahead and just cut those using the proper bandage scissors. All right. Good boy. Got our first layer done where the splint is held on, so we'll go ahead and gently remove that and place. So now we're going to start working on the bottom, and we're just going to take and pinch up the top, make sure that our finger can fit under, and just slowly cut up. Just slowly peel down as we go. Good boy. Good boy. Here's the last of our layer. So we've got this peeled down, so we're going to apply a lot of pressure to pull off the stirrup. If you have other tape, or if you had to use elasticon, then you can use mineral oil or something like that. Good boy, yeah. And that will help get the sticky off without pulling off the hair. And that is how to do a splint.